Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive and I'm Meghna Deka. Well, Dubai's glitz and glam is very hard to resist, and now it's not just for the rich and famous, it's suddenly become affordable. That's right. You can join in the Desi billionaires who are living it up in Dubai. The dream lifestyle could soon be within all of our reach as well. People like you and me can all aspire for Dubai because, well, the golden ticket is here. Well, this is Dubai's golden visa. It just got a complete makeover and now it is priced merely at 23 lakh rupees. It's going to be valid for 10 years and it works on a sponsorship. In fact, let's break it down for you graphically as well so that you understand what this golden ticket to Dubai is all about. Well, there you have it. The cost of this visa is merely 23.3 lakh rupees, which a lot of people in middle class, upper middle class can possibly afford for a complete makeover in your life as well. And the renewal is going to happen every 10 years. Not just that, let's quickly tell you about the other salient features as well. How do you get it? Well, this is going to be a sponsorship model and there is going to be nomination as well. Not just that, let's also quickly tell you the other who's, hows and what all is going to be there a bit faster than this. It is going to be only for Indians and Bangladeshis. Remember, this is going to be an experimental one with only 2 nations. The social value that you are expected to add to it is either cultural, scientific or in the financial sector. If you can show that you have contributed to Dubai in any of these, you can apply for it. Also, the background checks. Now, this is going to be very interesting. They are going to be checking your criminal case history. They're going to be checking if there is any history of money laundering in your background as well. Social media history. That's also something that they are going to be checking before they give a golden visa. So let's tell you a bit about how it is different from what it was earlier. Remember, the golden visa is not new. It has been around since 2019. But there are now new rules which have made it much more accessible. How? Well, let's tell you how it compares to the earlier one. Well, earlier, you must invest at least 4.66 crore rupees to get this golden visa. And now you merely have to give a visa fee, which is for 3.3 lakhs. Look at the huge dump down when it comes to how it is going to be much more affordable for you and me. In fact, the result is that there is going to be a much more wider talent pool in the mix as well. Earlier, you had to invest in a property or some business, only then would you get a golden visa. Now you can be nominated for this selection and it is being expected as many as 5,000 Indians are likely to apply for it. Earlier, it was designed for the HNIs, high net worth individuals who can actually afford to pay or invest over 4 crore rupees. But now anyone who can afford 23.3 lakh rupees can possibly apply for this as well. So this gives you a sense of how this golden spin has come in for the Dubai visa. But why really should one move to Dubai? Well, we're not advocating it, but let's tell you why it has been happening. Well, for example, you have the world-class infrastructure. You have zero income tax. Yes, you heard me right, the zero income tax. That is something which has been seen as a huge plus. Why pay taxes here when you have zero income tax there? Also, there is an added advantage about the luxurious lifestyle, the fact that it is consistently ranking amongst the world's safest cities. That really adds to the appeal as well. It is lucrative, rental yields as well. Anyone who invests in the property, zero income tax. These are just some of the big pluses which have been eyes, and also ease of doing business. Now, this is a big plus point for all of those who are investing in a business. Luxurious lifestyle, some of the biggest malls are there in Dubai. All the luxury brands are available there. One of the safest cities from the point of view of safety and security as well. Remember, that's where cities such as London, such as New York, even Chicago for that matter, have been of late scoring very poorly in. Also, Dubai's visa is merely for 23 lakh rupees. That puts the 23 lakh price tag in perspective. What does it really mean? What does 23 lakh rupees mean for you and me? A Mercedes E-Class? Well, let's tell you. A Mercedes E-Class, if you look for it, it will set you back by about 90 lakh rupees. Much, much cheaper than a Dubai golden visa. And let's tell you about the designer Sabyasachi, let's say a lehenga set for a shadi, not the basic one. Let's talk about a heavier shadi material kind of a Sabyasachi lehenga set. Well, that is going to be somewhere in the price range of 26 lakh rupees. Even a Harley Davidson Fat Boy, which is 114, one of the bikes, which comes in just about 25.5 lakh rupees, roughly to this. Suddenly, the Visa seems to be looking like quite a bargain, isn't it? If you can actually have to ensure that you can pay 23 lakhs, and this, as opposed to all the people who are investing in Mercedes E-Benz, isn't it? In fact, let's tell you how Dubai isn't just glitzy, it's also the top pick for millionaires on the move. Well, as per the global rich pack their bags, Dubai's become the runaway favorite for all of them. In fact, leaving even the US and Singapore trailing behind. Let's tell you about all of this. Well, there you have it on your screens. Those who are leaving China, which comes to about 15,200 millionaires. Millionaires leaving UK is 9,500. Millionaires leaving India, and this is a big number as well, is 4,500 millionaires are leaving India. Let's tell you, where are these guys? If they are leaving, where are they headed? Well, this is the big important part. Most of them are headed to UAE, to Dubai to be precise. 6,700 millionaires out of these are actually headed towards Dubai. Those who are headed to US is 3,800. So this is very interesting. US was always seen as the aspirational hubs. The number of billionaires, however, prefer now Dubai over US. And those headed to Singapore is about 3,500, roughly the same as US. But look at the size of US and its economy. So this is going to be an interesting statistic for us to discuss. But let's also talk about the Desi celeb squad, which are living it up in Dubai. Yes, you guessed it right. We are going to start with Shah Rukh Khan. Why not, after all? As we all know, you have none other than Shah Rukh Khan's Jannat Villa, which rests on the very swanky Palm Jumeirah area. You also have Shilpa Shetty Kundra, her husband Raj Kundra. They are also neighbors there with their own luxury pad as well. Then you have Bollywood royalty, Abhishek and Aishwarya Rai. They have a villa at the ultra luxurious and very exclusive Jumeirah Golf Estates as well as Bhaijan himself. Yes, Salman Khan. Well, he too owns a luxury apartment. This at the address which is there in downtown Dubai. So in case you have 23 lakh rupees, guess who your neighbors may just be. So let me go across to our panelists. Today, joining us on the show, we have Ishkaran Bhandari, an advocate of the Supreme Court. You also have Anis Sajan, who is a vice chairman of Danube Group. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Anis, I'm going to come to you first because we are looking at the statistics. Amazing to think that it's actually cheaper to get the golden ticket to Dubai than a Mercedes-Benz E-Class. It's cheaper to get the golden ticket instead of buying an expensive lehenga for your own shadi or even a Harley Davidson Fat Boy. Is this one of the biggest catches, and is this leading to that big boom that we've seen in your sector, real estate?
Well, I don't know much about what price the lehenga costing in India, but I can dare say that a lot of people want to come to Dubai. Like you mentioned, a lot of factors. First is Dubai is like home away from home for a lot of Indians.
Yes.
Again, safety factor, which makes Dubai rather the top place to stay. I've been here in this country for the last 32 years, and I dare say that I have never felt safe anywhere. And the more and more I travel, I want to come back to Dubai. Third, the culture of East and West. You know, whether you want to go to a pub or a party house, or you want to go to a mandir, masjid, or a gurudwara, everything is available. All the festivities, call it Holi, Diwali, Eid, every festival is celebrated the same way as the regular festivals. So that is what separates Dubai from the rest of the world.
Well, those are very valid points. But Ishkaran, I'm going to come to you first. Now, you had posted earlier in the day, you said already you have many of the wealthy Indians who've gone abroad and are settling in Dubai. They've given a massive challenge to retain the wealthy in our Bharat itself. Will India make necessary changes in taxes and laws? Do you think, Ishkaran, that's one of the biggest problems? The fact that the taxes are very high in India, at least that's what it is believed. Income tax is very high. The GSTs are high. God forbid, if you like caramel popcorn.
Hello?
Yes, Ishkaran, can you hear me?
Voice, bro.
Oh, well, there seems to be a bit of a problem there. We'll try and get that fixed. You can hear
your
me?
last
Okay,
part of your question, yeah, I can hear you now. I can, yes. See, as I tweeted, now we have become a global village for a long time now, but it was never that you could leave India at this low an investment. And if you see Dubai's policy, they are now effectively targeting the upper middle class or the professional class, because I was seeing some of the categories they're calling is professors, teachers, nurses.
Yes.
It is not only about the global elite, which till now was roughly around 4.5, 4.7 crores. You have to buy a property there.
Yes.
So of course it's a challenge. And like any other challenge, there will be some opportunities also, and there will be some stock taking also of how India responds to it. Because Dubai is so near to India that in a sense, people, if you are flying from one part of India to the other part, let's say north to south, it's roughly around broadly the same travel time. So that challenge is definitely there. Then infrastructure, then economy. And it's not so simple that everybody can go there. They are only taking 5,000 people. And I find that a bigger challenge, because in 70s we used to hear about this brain drain. Are some countries now trying to do a bit of wealth drain by initially giving very rosy sounding picture and opportunities? And not only India, see Britain, it is suffering a massive fall of people leaving Britain, especially non-domiciled people leaving Britain because of certain tax laws Britain has changed, especially inheritance tax, etc. And that is a country facing it the most. Similarly, India, as you have quoted, 4,300 is the projected number of millionaires leaving. So these challenges in the global environment are definitely there. India is too big a country. India has its own strength. People want to live in India, but a certain segment of people, yes, Dubai is trying to woo them, and Indian government probably will need to respond to it. We cannot ignore global developments in any sector. So that global development which has happened in Dubai, which as I said is very near to India, is something which has to be seen. And interestingly, Dubai has also started this only for India and Bangladesh as a test case. So this thing will have to play out, will definitely have an impact. And while we are joking about Mercedes or some other expensive thing, those changes have to come into India also, because we cannot ignore global realities anymore.
Well, absolutely. The reason why the Mercedes comparison is being made, look at the number of people. For example, if you go out in Noida, if you go out in Delhi, look at the number of Mercedes which are there on the streets of India. That is about 1/3 you need to invest to get that golden ticket. That just gives you a sense of how many people in India. It's not just going to be the HNIs. It is going to be anyone in the middle class who can now afford this golden ticket. Ishkaran, you wanted to come in?
No, it is almost even worse, because as the joke is going around, you can go to Dubai and buy an E-Class there in the amount you can buy a Mercedes E-Class in India. So you still remain the E-Class and you go to Dubai. So that is how we have very high taxation on luxury cars also, what we deem as luxury cars. So that is why I find it very interesting that Dubai, by changing its category, is not only now wooing HNIs, it is also trying to go into, they are seeing professors and teachers. They are building up education system there. So that challenge where they are going to choose amongst 5,000 Indians, and so many will want to go. People like me will never go. I will never leave India. But enough Indians will leave also. So that as a challenge has to be addressed by any government to retain its best.
It's interesting, since we are talking about social media, they are saying that it's cheaper in Dubai to buy a Mercedes E-Class than it is to buy one in Delhi. Apparently, such is the taxation brackets and the scenario there. But Anis, I'm going to come to you. Many people, of course, say the zero income tax regime is the most glittering factor of a life in Dubai. But others say that there is other taxation as well. The other taxation, which is non-direct, is also increasingly high, something that isn't often talked about.
Well, I have to be very honest, like you mentioned about there's no taxation. Yes, for an individual, there is absolutely no tax. Somebody who's doing a business, there's some sort of a tax, which is much more less compared to what you're paying in India. If I am not wrong, in India, you pay around 30% tax on a business, what you generate, which is in Dubai. If you're doing a business or in UAE anywhere, and if you are generating that sort of a revenue, the tax is around 9 to 10%.
So there you have it. Ishkaran, if that answers your taxes question, but also do you think the fact that now London has its own fair share of problems, other economic hubs like New York, such as Chicago, London especially, have had their own internal issues and have seen a lot of migration outside as well. Is that adding to the allure of Dubai now?
I am more focused on the Indian context because I believe what is the challenge for India and how do we improve India. But yes, globally, that is the thing which is happening because Dubai, in a sense, is doing a game changer, or it's attempting to do a game changer where it is at a probably the cheapest price in the world, offering you long-term residency. And that will attract people from all over the world because whatever we say, let's take India in a case. If
Right.
a state in India does not give you proper, leave that state and go to.
But Ishkaran, people here are going to be asking, look at the amount of taxes, 33% income tax if people are paying. What are we getting in return? Look at those visuals coming in from Dubai. Just the other day, Ishkaran, I did a story, I did it right here on Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, how you have a 90-degree flyover. What we are being offered is roads with trees in the middle. That is how our money is being used, Ishkaran. So you must understand that that is what people say. This is what we give and this is what we get.
Yes. I'll just add to this. Yes, that is a problem. Our bureaucracy sometimes a problem. But there are good stories also. See, New Zealand, it's also there. New Zealand nurse could not get surgery in New Zealand because her wait time was 5 years to have a hip replacement. She came to India, 1/3 the cost. She got a robotic surgery. New Zealand was offering a non-robotic surgery and is recovered also. And that nurse's name is, I'm forgetting the name. So India has its strengths also. But yes, as I said, the challenge is definitely there. And on infrastructure, we definitely need to improve on the quality of life, on polluted air. These are issues which we definitely need to improve. But we are doing
Ease of
better on
business
medical
as well.
than a country like New Zealand. That's why a nurse had to fly to India and get her hip replacement done.
Ease of business is something, Anis, I'm going to come to you. Ease of business is a big plus point. But what exactly does it offer to those people who are migrating to a place like Dubai, for example? Because at the end of it, you're not going to get your voting rights. What exactly does this golden visa stand for?
Like you mentioned, ease of business is one thing. As I mentioned earlier, I'm here for 30 years. Now, when you are doing business and you're doing ethically, you can, do your work smoothly without any hindrance or without any pressure from outside.
Because the
Now,
laws are very
what
strict,
can
isn't
people
it,
do?
Anis? It's important that you pointed that out. Ethically, you are doing it because the laws are more or less watertight. Unlike
That's what I was
many would say
about.
in
That's
India.
what I was about to. That's what I was about to come. Like, what does somebody do? Suppose if he gets this golden visa, he gets nominated for this golden visa. He can think of starting his own business, or he can probably even work at some other place. He doesn't stop him from doing anything as long as he's doing it right. Now the law is that's what separates UAE from the rest of the world. Now we spoke about London, we spoke about USA. Touch wood. I mean, by the grace of Almighty God, I've been in this country for the last 32 years, and I dare say that you can walk around in the streets even at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or any time. There is nobody going to harm you, and that's what's the beauty about Dubai. If you talk about all the luxuries, but what does person want? Peace of mind and security.
And I believe that is one of the biggest draw, isn't it? The fact that it is safe, it's secure, and there's ease of business. Of course, the cherry on cake is, of course, going to be the zero income tax. Appreciate it, Ishkaran Bhandari as well as Anis Sajan for joining us here on the show. Without a short break, the glittering Dubai dream may just be for you as well. Without a short break.